Well, that's that momentum issue we talked about, and when Boris got held up in the traffic, it really did hurt him. Now, again, he's catching up. I reckon he is the fastest car on the track, but he doesn't seem to be able to move through traffic as well as the 2 leaders.
Well, these 2 leaders now have got some traffic in the worst point, right at this left-right complex.
They're going to lose some ground,
aren't they? Follow them going down No Name Straight, but of course Boris too is going to catch him on No Name Straight, which, as we've already established, is not straight. As Dorsey tries to go down and box him in, but it didn't work. The slower car moved over, gave them room. There's Boris coming up.
That was the break Boris said.
Yes, it is. Look at that.
Ciampatini moved to the outside, and as both Fellows and Schrader got hard on the brake, right there was Boris said.
Dorsey will be looking in his mirror now. God, not him again.
Here he comes again. You know, sometimes when you have a car that is as beautiful as Ron Fellows and as distinctive, people will move over for it. Whereas Boris Said's looks like so kind of generic, doesn't it? They may not have even realized that it was who was in that car and the significance of it.
Well, they used to have JR's Garage on the side of that car. That's Jack Roush's mail order speed parts house, but they didn't want folks to think that they had a full-time sponsor, so they took it off. They're looking for sponsorship. So you're right, the car looks like one of those generic brands. Maybe they'll put barcodes on the side of it or something.
Why not put Mike Joy there? Here's the battle for 10th with R.J. Valentine looking awfully smooth, but not really, again, not really fast today.
And he's holding off Dale Phelan in the red and white car there. Dale, of course, had that horrendous crash at Long Beach.
Yeah, it's good to see him back.
Broke his foot, but he came back and he was limping a bit at Mossport last week, but will be getting better every week, hanging right in there.
Phelan is driving the car that Tommy Kendall ran 2 seasons ago that he purchased over the winter from Roush Racing. And Said is in the car that Tom Kendall drove here to a second-place finish last year.
Dale Phelan having to go down the outside, back with the 3 leaders again. More lap traffic in front of them. Ron Fellows still hanging on in the Camaro in front of the 2 Ford Mustangs as they take that right-hand sweep onto the No Name Straight. Dorsey using all of the road there across both those apexes. Now then, this slower car, the 44 car, is going to slow them. That's Dominic Toto. Is going to slow them as they go up the uphill just a little bit. Oh, Said will want to get by before they get to West Bend here.
Let's go down to Schrader's pits. Here's Bart.
Tom Goy still intently watching the monitor. Dorsey and Ron are tooth and nail out there as he talked to you about it.
No, he's concentrating 100%. He's doing a great job.
You know, when Dorsey's speechless, it must be busy out there. Now, what about Brian? What about Brian Simo? Now, Brian, this is only the 2nd race for him in the new car. He must be getting comfortable. He's running pretty well out there. Has he said anything?
No, I've been monitoring Dorsey's channel, and so I'm not sure about Brian. I think he's running real well. He's in 5th place. I think he's happy, and we'd like to get him home, get him on the podium.
Well, they're hopeful down here in the Goy pit. Back to you guys.
The top 3 stay very close together. The Sunoco Camaro of Ron Fellows, the Rebestos Ford of Dorsey Schrader, and the Jack Roush Ford of Boris Said. We'll be right back. Riding with Jamie Gallus down the front straightaway of Lime Rock Park. Going to the inside, and there's Tom Kendall in the picture in this battle with Gentilozzi. Or excuse me, that's Maluzio driving the Mannheim Auctions Camaro. That they were
there in the back of the picture was Tommy Kendall. Tommy Kendall's only about 4 seconds behind, so these 2 guys are duking it out with each other, and unbeknown to them, or maybe known to them, Tommy Kendall is creeping up behind them.
Kendall is going to very much get in contact before the end of this race. All the race is winding down, and I think, you know, it's certainly up front, Dorsey Schrader is running out of time too.
Well, I wonder if he's out of time. I wonder if he or Boris Said is running out of tires. Fellows is really setting a fast pace. Here he is.
Fellows is doing just a beautiful job. He's such a low-key guy. I had the honor of watching the Indy 500 and the Michigan 500 with him yesterday at my house. He just sits there absorbing everything, not really intruding much. He's just a great guy. But you can see, I mean, this is the toughest, wouldn't you say, David? This is a really tough race to run. Traffic everywhere. Pressure from Dorsey, who knows the track better than anybody, all throughout the race. He's been under incredible pressure.
And this is the sort of thing he doesn't want. 2 guys that are being lapped, overtaking each other right in front of them, blocking the straight at the first part. What to do, lift out, go for it.
Yeah, making it a crapshoot. What do you do?
Absolutely. Yeah. Scott Sharp now giving these guys tons of room. This is pretty good for Scott Sharp, who's actually lying 6th in the championship. He really doesn't want to give up any points if he can help it.
And give a call to John Miller in the 64. As soon as the leaders got under him, he jumped right off the throttle and let that whole train by so that he wouldn't affect the outcome of this race.
Yeah, both of them did a sterling job there in letting the leaders get on with the race. Scott Sharp tags on now. You know, he really is as quick as these guys. He had that gearbox jammed up, so that put him right out of the running today, and disappointing for him after his 500-mile run yesterday in Indianapolis.
Of course.
Oh, said! And he saved it.
Oh, but not totally.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa.
What if his heart's going as fast as mine? Is he headed for the pits? He must have got a flat tire.
he
Hey, he's
must
got a
have
flat tire.
Ah, that's a shame.
And
Now
here
here comes Dorsey on the right side. He's taking a look at. That's amazing.
Let's go to Bart.
Boris says number 14 Mustang is coming into the pits. They complained about tires. You can see they're working around. They're going to jack up the left side of the car. He got a little loose out there. They're really taking a close look at the left rear tire. They're replacing it. It doesn't look like there's any blisters on there. That's the only tire they're replacing so far is the left rear. I was just about to ask Max Jones about the tires. We heard on the broadcast that Boris got real sideways. He came right in after that. This should be the only change they make, and he's on his way.
These cars have so much horsepower and accelerate so hard that on a right turn track like Lime Rock Park, you pretty much run the car off the left rear tire. And Boris said may have used his up. Let's show you what happened here. Now that's after he got it way loose and was just struggling for control.
Wow, that was a big slide as they went through West Bend at the top of the hill, and it took him all the way down the downhill to collect himself together. Now he's going to the left hand, and he's going slowly. I think something's gone wrong with the rear suspension of that car.
That's
Was
too
it
bad.
the tire or was it the rear end where something went wrong?
Yeah, look at it.
So you can see he's fussing with it, trying to figure out what it is. The
differential or a drive shaft broken, I would say.
Anyway, he's out.
What a shame, because Boris said was the fastest qualifier over the weekend. Had to start in that 5th spot. Here come the leaders. So he's a lap down, and look at Dorsey Schrader now, all over Mr. Fellows like the proverbial cheapo pseudo.
One of these two men is going to probably become the first to repeat as a winner this year. Of course, Ron Fellows
Unless
won.
they both dive into the bank.
Oh, David.
Yeah, exactly, which would hand the race to Greg Pickett, and Pickett has not won this year.
Well,
so anything could happen.
yeah. Schrader has never lost a Trans Am race at Lime Rock Park. 1989 and 1995, drove to victory lane both times. He also, for Jack Roush, won some IMSA GTO races here at Lime Rock in a championship.
Well, he's certainly giving Ron a run for his money at the moment. We've got just 8 laps to go.
Tom Kendall you're riding with now, and look at him catch that battle, and here toward mid-pack, Valentine and Phelan.
Not 8 laps to go, 14 laps to go. What am I talking
Thank
about
you.
as we watch R.J. Valentine? And
That
look
was-
at this now. Tommy Kendall in the 11 car has caught up with Jamie Gallus and Gentilozzi. Gentilozzi having got around Gallus again. We thought that when Gallus got around Gentilozzi, he'd pull away. He did not. They've been dicing it out with each other, and Tommy Kendall in that Ford from, again, one of his pit stop and changing tire routines has caught right up to them.
5th place battle here. Boris Said has been called pit side by the SCCA Pro Racing officials.
Oh, listen to him go over that hill.
Yes,
That's
you can
really
hear the engine
exciting.
revs ride.
Here we're on board with Jamie Gallus looking at Bart. Here we go, Bart, over to you.
I'm down here in the Roush Racing pit, and I can see Boris Said coming in. Danny Binks has his head down. Max Jones, they were conferring. Boris's car was really, really wiggly out there, and they said, hey, if he's dangerous out there, he's going to hurt something, make sure he comes in. It's obviously something more than a tire. They're going to jack it up, take a look at the rear end. It could be something in suspension or in the rear end. They're going to take a real close look at it. But it looks like any chance Boris had to win is out the window. Back to you guys.
Well, they're trying to see if the differential is unlocked or...
Certainly, the way that wheel's turning, it doesn't look right, does it?
Back to the 5th place battle.
This is Paul Gentilozzi in the black and red car there, running 5th with Jamie Gallus in 6th, and now Tommy Kendall in 7th. Very much has come into the picture after that pit stop.
What a great comeback for Kendall. Remember, he was on the tail end of the lead lap when he came out of the pits. He has made up a lot of ground, as you saw Gallus climb the inside curve there as you ride in the all-sport Mustang down the front straightaway.
Jamie Gallus going to the inside, trying to either block Kendall out or think he's going to go down the inside of Gentilozzi. Neither thing happened. Gentilozzi still just in front of him there. Gentilozzi going a little bit wide there, doesn't make a real tight apex. Tommy Kendall makes a hugely tight apex and try it now. Is he going to try on this left-hander?
This is where you really...
Much quicker than Jamie Gallus through there.
That straightaway is so short. There's just not time to jump under somebody there.
Well, you really feel the weight of the cars, don't you? You see them struggling for purchase
Lap
there.
traffic ahead again, playing a major part. Oh, squeezing by now and down to West Bend. There's not much room here.
Look to the inside of a lap car here, bottom of the turn, that demon drop, and they'll all get by. Let's go to the pits.
Oh, and Tommy Kendall gets down the inside as they come onto the straightaway.
This is a
Boris said, got to be a big disappointment to you. Running so strong, quickest time, you were third. And what happened out there?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, the Roush guys gave me a great car. I mean, we're just biding our time, waiting for about 10 to go and really charge the leaders, and I think we had some for them. But fortunately, rear differential broke, and just one of those little mechanical things that happened.
Now, did you feel it coming on, or was it sort of an all-of-a-sudden deal?
That was all of a sudden going through West Bend. It just snapped sideways, and I thought it could have been a flat, but it wasn't, so it's too bad.
Well, Boris says had better luck. He had better luck when he won earlier this weekend, not in the Trans Am race. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot.
Tom Kendall past Jamie Gallus, and now looking at the Camaro of Paul Gentilozzi. This is the battle for 5th place, and it's as good as the one up front. We'll be right back with Trans Am Racing from Lime Rock Park. 10 laps to go. Stop at the end of the no-name straightaway just before the climbing turn. His Sunoco Camaro is in the grass, a bit of steam coming out from beneath the hood.
If this is an engine problem, it's going to be his 3rd one so far this season. That just tears the heart out of a season.
Bart, what's the story?
Well, I'm down here with Dennis LaCava, crew chief for Fellows. Dennis, what did Ron say? I heard he pulled over.
He said something broke. He's not sure what. Something in the drivetrain. We're not sure. We'll have to say.
You guys had a great run going. You've had a streak of bad luck. How does that affect your outlook here? I said, how does that affect your outlook? You're a little behind in points now.
Yeah, well, yeah, we really are, but we're not giving up. We never give up.
Well, they got the attitude. They'll be back.
Well, there's lots of races to go yet, and Ron Fellows has certainly been the class and field the last couple of weeks, but look at Dorsey Schrader now on his own out front, going through some lap traffic. That's John Gooding in the 16 car.
And Don Sack to the outside of that Oldsmobile. Don said, he said, mention us little guys. So, hey, little guy.
Well, yeah, he's actually not a little guy, he's a huge guy.
He's a big guy, but he means the privateers, the fellows that are weekend racers that come out here, don't race this series for a living, but race it because they enjoy it. And Don Sack's having as much fun as maybe anybody out there right now, except possibly Dorsey Schrader.
The interesting thing is
Ron Fellows there.
Dorsey was one of those little guys, so to speak, for many years, an amateur racer, and then he suddenly caught on at I mean, he's 43 now, and of course now he's got the world by the tail. I mean, it's just fantastic.
Is he only 43?
Yes.
There you see this tremendous battle, which is now must be for 4th spot, I suppose. 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Well, Gallus has gotten back in front of Tommy Kendall.
Jamie Gallus in the center of those 3 cars racing right now, the blue and white nose car. Doing a beautiful job. David and I have been watching him, and he has a nice tight line, and I don't think he's hurting his tires much. Do you, David?
No, he's not, and as they come up to the rising turn, so somehow Gallus got around Tommy Kendall. We didn't see that. In front of them both is still Paul Gentilozzi.